Last week, you had Russ Flips Whips that came out and spent some time with you guys on Friday and Saturday. What was that like?
It was awesome. Really personable guy. It was cool having him here.
Did you think he would come? Was there a doubt in your mind that he was actually going to show up?
I think you can get that, but I don't know. It was just kind of the anticipation that was fun about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Internet beef is internet beef.
Yeah.
Sure.
Eventually, there became a reality to it.
Yeah. Like, you have to somewhat deliver on his promise. Like, if he says he's going to do it online, he should show up in person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So some other cool things he did was some training with you guys between Friday and Saturday. What would you say, Dalton, was one of the big things you took away when he went through that training? And maybe what are some things you look forward to doing, like here the next few days, next few weeks, next few months?
Yeah, so I thought he simplified the, basically just how to make a video, how to get started, and just make it a very smooth, easy process as far as just putting yourself out there online.
Sure. Interesting. Nick, what were your takeaways? I know you've been pretty involved in the store's videos, for the last few months. What were some things that you're looking at doing that you haven't done yet?
Well, what I told him is I said, when you have somebody like that who has such a high caliber name,
Sure,
it's easy for them to come in and then leave, and you just are left motivated, but without any real application.
Sure.
What I thought was cool for him was he really encouraged creating a Facebook page with customers, then posting about them, getting them to follow you, share it, and expand your network. And somebody who's from Ohio who doesn't have a network really here, that's applicable. Into getting your name out is taking advantage of the people that you have come into the store who have a good experience with you, and then sharing it themselves in their network and expanding it that way. And I was like, that's a good nugget. That's applicable to, I think, everybody really, even Dalton or anybody who lives here, in terms of expanding their reach via social media.
It's crazy how much of a reach you can get out of just creating an account and creating good, valuable content. One of the things that really stuck out to me was, Dalton, you went and created a TikTok.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you probably had one for a while, but maybe just been posted to it.
You've seen it. Thousands of people have seen it now. It's gone viral.
Yeah, but it's like mind-blowing how you can just go create your first video and second video and third video. I think you did your third one and maybe even fourth one today.
Yeah.
But it's mind-blowing the kind of reach you can get out of that just from creating good, valuable content.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting just how quickly it was able to track and succeed. Just based off kind of taking some of the pointers that he gave us over the week.
Yeah. How cool. Now, Nick, do you have your own TikTok or Instagram that you post to?
I do, but on the management side of things, I'm not posting as much. I did when I was in sales.
Yeah.
When I was in sales, I posted to Instagram, but the whole TikTok thing's been new ever since joining this auto group specifically.
Sure. But yeah, like the reach has just been crazy, because a couple years ago, you would have never thought that you can reach, 100,000 people with 2 videos.
Yeah.
That's going to be mind-blowing.
Yeah.
In 2 days. Exactly. So if you look at some of the applicable things, like process-wise, that Russ talked about, what were some of the simple steps that you think most people should be doing, Nick?
I think probably the first thing that both of us would say is a hook.
Sure.
The first part of your videos need to hook somebody in. I think people care less about who you are and what your position is and where you're at, because that's what everybody's going to do.
Yeah.
In terms of what's this video going to offer me now, and then go into what value add you have.
Yeah.
Is big. I think that's definitely one of the first takeaways we got.
Sure. And even with your recent videos, Dalton, what do you feel like were some things that you did that knocked those videos out of the park?
I think, one, don't overanalyze. Just post it.
Sure.
Get it out there. And then number 2, I would just say one of the big things I took was just give. Don't worry about asking.
Sure.
So don't worry about the return on what you're going to get. Just put it out there. Hopefully it succeeds, and just try to give people some content that they can enjoy.
Yeah. What do you think were some of the content pieces that Russ has created that have been super valuable to his audience? Are there certain ones that stick out at the top of your mind?
I think some things like he touched on were educational videos, pain points for customers buying cars.
Sure.
So things that are more emotionally charged versus things that might be more logical.
Yeah. And Nick, like, if you look back at your sales career, so let's talk about this. How long have you worked here at this Toyota store?
Since October.
Since October.
8 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long have you been in automotive?
About 5-6 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you start here when you moved to this area?
I did, yeah. Yep,
Okay.
left Columbus, Ohio, came straight here.
Okay. And what brought you here?
The culture, to be honest with you.
Sure.
Met Trey personally, had a conversation with him, and then met Zach, who I think you had on here recently. And that kind of swayed me. just the way they operate business here.
Yeah. Now, did you know about this Toyota store before you moved here to this area, or did you move to this area and you started applying? Like, what did that look like?
No, so I was in Columbus selling cars, and then I met Trey at a golf outing.
Sure.
Out in Indiana. My parents live here.
Okay.
Met him, and he told me just about, obviously, the dealership reach that he has. And then we didn't talk for a while. And then out of the blue, he texted me and was like, hey, I want you to talk with my GM and have a conversation with me. So this store is actually what brought me to Indiana.
That's crazy, and it's mind-blowing. So one of the pieces you guys did recently was when you had a clap back to Russ. Yeah. And it seemed like you were pretty involved in that. Like, yes. I mean, first off, explaining what the process was with the Plinko chip, but also going through and creating that content for that clapback. How did you guys know to do that? Like, was it just you went and did it? Was there a plan to it? Was there a process to it?
Well, so I think we all know of dealers who do the exact same things that Russ was claiming we did.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, Dalton, you've been with the Romans your entire car career, right?
Yeah, 9 years.
The dealerships that I was familiar with in Ohio did those exact things. The money off that you're offering is present it before negotiation, so we have time to build it into the deal. So I knew exactly where it was coming from. So it was very easy for me to get emotionally charged to be like, no, not at all. It's after the negotiation. It's real money. It's real cash. So gave me a little bit more confidence knowing exactly where he was coming from and knowing that it's not at all what we were doing.
Yeah, and it's interesting too, just like you said, because a lot of other dealers would do it that way, where they hide the money, or they do a double discount, or they try to find a way to make it so that the customer just gets in the door and they still give them that offer, but they build it in some other way.
Right.
So of course, Russ calling you out on that and you coming back and saying, oh, actually, this is really a real thing.
Yep.
And you should come be a part of it.
Right.
So whose idea was it to invite him to come to the store?
I think ultimately it was Zach's.
Was it Zach's?
I believe.
Zach?
Okay.
Yeah, Zach or Austin. It was one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he ended up delivering on that, so how cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was fun to have him in here.
Yeah, so Dalton, you've been at Rohrman now for 8 or 9 years?
9 years, yep.
Okay. What did you do before you joined Rohrman?
I went to school.
Okay, and then how did you decide to join Rohrman?
So I actually met Trey in college.
Okay.
Played golf with him in college, and
sure.
then eventually started my career here. So
that's what he does. He just plays with golf with people.
It's a good way to
network.
network.
And then they come work for him.
Yeah. It's the Indiana Wesleyan connection, to be honest with you.
He was trying to build his best scramble team, so yeah.
And obviously your score was pretty good, so he kept you around for another 8 or 9 years,
I
huh?
guess so. Until he finds my replacement, so.
Yeah. What was it about Rohrman when you first started, and what was it about the automotive industry that you loved, and why you choose to stay in it today?
To be honest, I started this for a temporary job.
Sure.
It was just going to be a summer job for me, but ended up staying because I do think it's a good fit for not only my personality, but I just enjoy working with people. And testament to Nick coming here, just a great culture overall. So just enjoyed it.